So we made it to another weekend. Oh, it's going to be a good one too. I love March Madness, my favorite time of the year. Okay, so we only have one break tonight. And of course, yeah, we started super early so that I can get my March Madness on in a little while. But in the meantime, we've got this case to break. Before we start ripping into it, though, a little bit of info to go over, so we're going to roll with that first up. Feedback 100% automated. That's done just simply so you never have to wait on me. So anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you're going to instantly get the same in return. Second message there, of course, is to say thank you. I always appreciate those of you who bid and break and chat with me, keep me on the straight and narrow, keep me posted with the scores, etc. We are looking now at breaks that are coming up. This is the stuff that's already up and listed on eBay that we're going to be breaking over the next few days. So tomorrow night, a half case of Gypsy Queen Baseball. It's the back half of a case. Sunday, a 3-box inner case of Onyx Preferred Players Autograph Baseballs, a 7th and final case of Valiant Baseball, and another 16-box case of Prizm Draft Picks Football, like we're about to open here in a few minutes. On Monday night, we'll open the 5th and what I think is my final case of National Treasures Football for this year, and we will also open a 5th case of Inception Baseball. On Tuesday night, it'll be a Leaf autographed football jersey and a half case of 2019 Donruss Baseball. On Wednesday, Court Kings comes out on Wednesday. We're going to start breaking early on Wednesday night as well. It'll be at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on that new release day. Court Kings full case will be up first, and then we'll do a half case of Gypsy Queen Baseball in behind the Court Kings. So that's what the days ahead look like for tonight. Just the one break, and that is our Panini Prizm Draft Picks Football. Of course, this is a full case. It is break number 1. Everybody should know by now the spots were sold by the first letter of the last name. Mascot cards did have their own bidding spot, so those are in there for, to go as a group to mascot cards. And I'm anticipating this to be on the way to you roughly Tuesday. What that means is it could go sooner. If my days ahead go really well and I get a lot done, it could possibly go a day later if something goes off the rails, but Tuesday is my best estimate for when this will be out the door and on the way to you. So, 16-box case of 2019 Prizm Draft Picks Football, full case break. Break number 1 ended tonight on eBay, Friday night, the 29th of March. And, of course, across from each of our bidding positions, you will find the user ID of our lucky winning bidder. And once again, just as a reminder, mascot cards with its own bidding spot. So all of those mascot cards are going to go to that spot, no matter what the name of the mascot is. Make sense? I think so. I hope so. All right, so let's start getting this out of here. Nelson's here, Greg is here, and Joey's here looking for some one-on-one mascots. So Joey must have our mascot bidding position. All right, awesome. And Nelson, you're in tonight. Fantastic. What letter do you have? Who are we pulling for tonight for you, Nelson? Greg said Michigan State is winning big. Ooh, okay. Of course, I haven't had the game on too much. I had a lot to do with breaks ending and invoicing and getting ready for this break and trying to get a few things up and listed for what will be our Wednesday night breaks. So I didn't get a chance to really watch any of this early game. But I'm not surprised Michigan State is winning. I have Michigan State projected into the Final Four, actually. Of course, my bracket is long ago busted, so it's kind of one of those what do I know situations, because yeah, my bracket's dead. All right, so Prizm Draft Picks, we are looking for 5 autographs per box on average. Yeah, you know how Panini is with that on average stuff. It means occasionally we might find a points card instead of an autograph. If we do, we'll random the points card. It also means that we could potentially end up with an extra autograph or even end up shorted an autograph, but hopefully that's not going to be the case. So basically, I mean, at the end of the day, it should be 1 per pack. So, all right, so Danny H says he needs Drew Lock. Nelson is looking for Haskins and Daniel Jones. Okay. Greg says North Carolina game. Oh, it's tied. Really? Okay. How far are we in on that? On the North Carolina game? That one started what? 15 minutes later or so than the Michigan State game, I guess. I haven't had time to watch either one of them, so. Nelson, you've watched 10 cases of this already today, and you saw no Panini points. Good. I like to hear that. So hopefully that means, yeah, we're going to have... Oops, I forgot to fix the focus, didn't I? See what happens when we start early? Yeah, right? I forget things. Like changing up the autofocus so we can actually see those cards when I hold them up close to the camera. Haha, let's try that again. That's a little better, isn't it? So this is an example, of course, of our mascot cards, which have their own bidding spots. So you know the deal there. Those will all go to the mascot bidder. And is this going to be numbered? Looks like not. So it is a parallel, but an unnumbered one there with the purple. Here's our first autograph hit, and it is Trayvon Williams. So the W's are kicking it off tonight. First out. I'm going to guess that is numbered. And it is numbered to 99 with kind of a little checkerboard sort of pattern there. At least what I'm going to call a checkerboard pattern. And you know the deal. We're going to kind of bust a move through the vast majority of our base. This is Mojo. I don't know if it's numbered. It is. So there's Baker Mayfield to 49 with the Mojo pattern. And our next autograph out is Chase Vinovich. And he kind of gives us just part of his name. But hey, we'll take it. So the W's again. A Prism Irv Smith, just the base prisms that don't appear to be numbered in here. Another base prism, Derek Carr. And an autograph hit for Dax Raymond, the R's. Greg said it's near the halftime. Okay, Corey's here. Hey, Corey. What's shaking, man? Are you still in the lower 48 or are you back up in Alaska? I can't remember what your sitch is, what you told us there the last time. All right, we have a Crusade hit here, and it's Damian Harris. Damian Harris should be a pretty good little running back candidate. I don't know that he's going to go, I don't think he's going to be #1 running back off the board, but I do think he's a good power back. He's from this area originally, been playing, of course, for Alabama, but I think Damian Harris is going to be pretty good. That's to 99, Earl Campbell, with, again, our kind of checkerboard pattern. And here's Caden Smith for the S bidding position. Nelson, you said you purchased a $30 random team spot and got Oklahoma. Oh, wow. Well, that's not too shabby then, is it? There's another Crusade. That one is A.J. Brown. I think isn't A.J. the Antonio Brown's nephew? I think it is. A Tom Brady orange parallel there for the B's. And an autograph hit for Jordan Scarlett. The S's. Numbered to 75, and a Crusade for N'Keal Harry. I guess most of those are not numbered, so we're not going to like flip them all over for every 16 boxes probably once we've kind of established what's numbered and what's not. So we might flip them over through one more box to make sure I know what I'm doing. Nelson, yeah, everything's going to ship out of here. So guys and gals, always with my breaks, everything is going to ship unless the listing description specifically states otherwise. So I say this all the time, but always remember to check the listing description. Even if the only thing you look at is that middle part, that right around the area where it says the date and the time, and it gives the quantity of the product and the name of the product and all that kind of area is where it will say if there are special bidding categories like tonight for the mascot cards, or if not everything ships, etc. It's always going to be stated in there. So I know it's easy to just kind of roll with the flow and think they're all the same, and for the most part they are, but sometimes things do change up a little bit. So that is a Mojo Dax Raymond, and that is also numbered to 49. So I think we're talking probably Mojos, we can probably safely say, are going to be numbered to 49. American Stupid says, oh, the Baker Mayfield was a card was numbered to his jersey number. Okay, well, that's cool. I know that makes a difference sometimes when you sell it. An Aaron Rodgers green parallel, that is numbered to 5. So the R's kind of have some nice little things headed their way so far. And Trayvon Mullen, Mojo M, also to 49. Another Crusade there. That one is Marquise Brown. Maybe Marquise Brown is Antonio's. One of them is Antonio's nephew. I don't know if it's Marquise or AJ, but anyway. Haskins is a redemption and Murray is live, Nelson says. Corey says he is still in Arizona, and he's going to hit Vegas before he goes back to Alaska. Well, I like that plan. I've got a friend trying to talk me into Vegas right now, as a matter of fact, but I don't have time. David Montgomery to 99 for the M's. Yeah, Greg, they have been making noise. You're right about it, about moving Rosen out. I mean, it still seems silly to me that they would do that, but it's to 75. But I guess that's what happens when you get a new coach, right? They're going to let him have his go at it. That Andrew Luck there is also numbered to 75. Caleb Wilson for the W's is next out. Corey, you saw a Murray dual autograph redemption earlier today. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Deshaun Watson, unnumbered. And Travis Homer, the H's are making an appearance, numbered to 99. Of course, the H's are mostly after Dwayne Haskins, is my guess. There's a Justice Hill purple, orange. I do know my colors, I swear. I swear I'm not colorblind. I just apparently can't think and speak at the same time. Corey, you think that Josh Rosen might end up with the Giants? Well, I mean, it's a possibility. I would think the Redskins would be a possibility as well. I think the Redskins probably have some trade material where they could end up, and Lord knows other QBs are injured and whatnot. They could probably use him up there. Danny says it is Marquise Brown that's Antonio's nephew, not AJ, but Marquise Brown. Okay, well, I knew one of them. I knew there was a Brown in there that was related to him. I think his nephew, maybe his cousin, but I think his nephew. There's another Baker Mayfield. This one is numbered to 75. And behind that is Mac Wilson for the W's. It's always the fun part of this early stuff, right? Like, what do? Do you buy and hold and wait and see where some of these guys get drafted and then decide to sell them? Or do you sell them early if the market's hot? Hard to know, isn't it? And Aaron Rodgers, that is orange, and it's not numbered. And we do have a redemption. It's going to sit right there in our housekeeping area. And we will check it out at the very end of the break. John Elway. So I think we can safely assume none of the purples of any sort are numbered. Keelan Doss going to the D bidding position. A little crusade there for J.J. Arcega Whiteside. A John Elway refractor, Jacques Patrick, numbered to 99. There come the P's. And that is Whiteside again, also unnumbered. Russell Wilson, Devin Bush II. That one is numbered to 75, headed to the B's. Nelson says the H spot has a lot of bigger players, mostly wide receivers. Well, that would make, that would make for a good bidding spot, in my opinion. Wide receivers are ones, as you all well know, and running backs too, that sometimes go later round and end up making quite an impact for their team down the road. To 99, that was Nick Bosa. That is box number 2. Nelson says, I'm killing him because I haven't gotten him a Dwayne Haskins. Hey, man, we're just getting started. We got a long ways to go, man. We got 16 boxes to open, so it's way too early to be giving up on that. I hit the tripod. Sorry. I'm trying to fix it. There. I ran into it with the box. Auburn is leading at the half. Well, I have to tell you, I'm not terribly surprised by that. Auburn has been really, really good all year. I'm not surprised that Auburn is leading at the half. I think Auburn can win the game. Now, whether or not they will, I don't know. But they are capable of beating North Carolina. A little James Conner. What did we say those are? To 75? Yeah. That particular pattern. Joe Jackson for the Jays. I tell you what, we're not going to necessarily sort out all these that are refractors and things. Seems like it's taken longer to set those aside than it is to do anything else, so I'll sort them out after the fact. Kyle Shermer for the S bidding position. It's a little orange Nick Bosa. Christian McCaffrey in a purple. DeMarcus Lodge autograph for the L's. Nelson, you said you hope that I have like 5 redemptions because at the end of the and if I do have 5 at the end of the break, you want to slow roll them. You're hoping they're all going to be for your guy? Well, they might be. You never know. You definitely never know. Lamar Jackson, All-American, doesn't appear to be numbered, though, even though it had a little parallel on it. Jarrett Stidham and Darius Slayton, that is numbered to 15, but aren't we lucky they're both last name S? So we don't even have to sweat random on that one. So if you have S, which might be Stang Lover tonight. Maybe. I think it is. I don't know. I remember looking at it thinking, I wouldn't have expected Stang Lover to go for whatever letter it was. And I think it might have been S. See, I can remember him because his eBay username and his chat name are the same. So it makes my life easier. Devin White for the W's. For my poor old brain to associate, correlate the two is easier when they're the same. Or largely the same. Oh, you must have had them because I see you have typed in sweet. So I'm gonna go with yes, that's what you have. I would also prefer that all these packs not be sliding around down inside this box, but they have been every single box. So that little whatever insert there is meant to catch them and hold those packs is not doing its job. The mascot, well, there's a bunch of mascots in there. So, the purple ones are not numbered, but that was, yes, another mascot there. There's lots of mascot stuff in here. That's why why I decided to do its own bidding spot, because I figured there were going to be a lot. CJ Conrad. Now, CJ Conrad, he comes from my University of Kentucky Wildcats. And he got an invite to the combine, and then they sent him home for medical reasons because they thought, they detected some kind of little heart murmur or some such. He has since been medically cleared and took place in Kentucky's Pro Day on a limited basis. And the first one, there's a second Kentucky Pro Day where I understand he'll be a full participant. Caleb Wilson, W's. CJ Conrad, a big tight end, and has the potential to make a little noise in the NFL. Now, whether or not he does, your guess is as good as mine. But that one's got a possibility to be a little sleeper anyway. Tyree Brady for the Bees. Of course, the fact that he got sent home from the combine probably didn't help his case any, so he'll probably be either a later round pick or possibly a UDFA that signs later. But he's one I would kind of keep an eye on anyway. Tom Brady parallel purple. I don't know why I keep thinking the purple are going to be numbered. They never are. One of these days I'll stop flipping it. Elijah Holyfield for the H's. And this mojo here should be numbered to 49, and it is one Kyler Murray on the other side of it. Right? We like that. Like seeing a little Kyler come out numbered. That will be to 75 for Julio Jones. And Mac Wilson for the W's. We've had a lot of W's, right? I'm not just dreaming that, am I? I think we've really had a lot of W's. I feel like we have. But I'm glad to see Prizm Draft Picks back. They did away with it for a couple years, so I'm kind of glad that they brought it back. I like it being first up. And then Contenders Draft Picks will come in behind it. Bear with me one moment, please. I want to stack separately most of the numbered stuff, so if we want to look at it later, we can. And I have it in 2 stacks right now, and I got the urge to fix it before those stacks go any higher. So thank you for that. Now I think we're sorted there. Yeah, apparently this product is in really short supply. I probably shouldn't have let my one distributor have some of those boxes back, right? But I didn't think it would be that hard just to replace them. So I was like, yeah, sure. You can have them. Pick them up somewhere else. So then I was like, today I'm like, oh, hey, can you shoot me over an extra XYZ number of boxes? And they're like, no, we don't have any more. That's kind of what everybody's saying. So Drew Sample for the S bidding position. So yeah, Prizm Draft Picks kind of off to a little bit of a hot start this year. Fournette to 99. And a little Juan Thornhill. And Juan here is numbered to 5 for the T's. So that's nice. It's our second card numbered to 5 tonight, but the other one wasn't autographed, of course. Terry McLaurin, bidding position M. Comes a mojo that will be to 49. That's for Nick Bosa. Of course, he's bouncing around up there. He'll be somewhere in the top 3. Kind of depends on what happens with Kyler. But I expect, regardless, Nick will be somewhere top 3. Jazz Ferguson. There's one for the F bidding position. I think that might be Stang Lover too. Because I seem to remember that message you sent was looking for Noah Fant, so that would mean you would have the Fs if I'm thinking correctly. Antonio Brown to 49, Mojo. Jalen Smith to 99 for the S bidding position. Stang Lover, you said you tried to buy a box this morning when it went on sale. It was in your cart the second it went live, and then you couldn't, and then it sold out before you could get it paid for. Wow. Yeah, then I guess I definitely shouldn't have given up my extra boxes, huh? It definitely sounds like I should not have, but I did. It's too late now. I should have guessed that, I suppose, when he came you know, handout saying, ooh, I could use those. I really need them. Well, that's all right, though. It's always good for a distributor to owe you a favor. It means somewhere down the line, if I get a weird allocation that's, you know, 2 or 3 boxes short of where it needs to be, he'll probably make it up to us there. So it all comes out in the wash. You said it seems to be the trend. Do you think they're blocking lower quantity purchases? I don't think so. I think here's what I think is happening, because I have watched this happen on a number of products in the last 6 months or so. I'm assuming you're talking about direct from Panini. I think what's happened is that you have got your online retailers, you know the ones I'm talking about, that have either a bunch of employees logging in at the same time, like with different usernames and different user IDs, and ordering a bunch of these up, or somebody's got a bot. You know, they can make bots that'll go in and buy instantly, faster than a human could ever do it. Cody Thompson for the T's. And I think a lot of things are going out the door that way, because you'll notice, another Baker, but that's just a base refractor, that they always seem to have it, right? I mean, these online retailers, they always seem to have it, and they have it in big quantities, whether it's first off the line or whatever else. And there's some way they're getting it, and the rest of us don't seem to be able to get it that easily. This is Foster Moreau with the M's. No, I don't think it's a quantity issue, because there have been plenty of times I've had quantity in there, and same deal. You know, I get it in my cart the second it goes live, and I still can't get checked out before it sells out. It's to 75 Andrew Luck, and that's with all of my information already stored except for the credit card number. You know, I mean, can't hardly go any faster. Joe Jackson for the Jays. I think it's just a giant crush of people gunning for it at once, and I think some people have given themselves an edge one way or another. So there is Higdon, Karan. How do you say his first name? Karan Higdon, maybe? Karan. I doubt he says Karen, does he? Probably not. Karan or something like that. There's another little mascot, the Nittany Lion. He's purple too. Of course, we know purple are not numbered. Andy Isabella. The I's are in the house. I combined I and J, though, just to make it easier. Even though I knew there was a freestanding I or two. It's not like you could load up on them, so. Hi, Russ. You are asking if we have seen any Haskins yet. We have not yet. Not yet. But we're, let's see, 2, 4, 8. After we finish this box that's here in my hand, we'll be at our halfway point. So we still have quite a few boxes to open here before we'll know for sure if we're a yay or an A on Haskins. But I am a little surprised, Staying Lover, that on a collegiate product that it went so quickly that you couldn't get any of it at Panini's website today. That is a little more unusual, of course. The collegiate they seem like they make more of than they do some of the other stuff. Hakeem Butler for the Bees. But who knows? These days, I guess they're not making a whole lot of anything. A Bo Jackson refractor for the Jays. And I ran into that tripod again. I know, I gotta stop and pay attention to what I'm doing when I'm knocking my hands into things, don't I? Travis Fulham for the F bidding position. Oh, Nelson, you probably heard me say already, I'm guessing, but we're at after we finish this box, we'll be at the halfway point. Jake Browning for the Bees. And of course, as always, we will recap our autographs at the end of the break. Hey, there's going to be a numbered mascot for the Tiger /99. The little Clemson Tiger on a card. Juan Thornhill comes out again. And a Drew Lock, just base refractor, but still. Bo Jackson purple. There's Taylor Rapp for the R's. Oh gosh, man, Nelson, I have no idea if we've hit more H, because at one point, I don't know at what point you left either, my friend. So, like, I don't know at what point you you took off. So I don't know if we've hit any H's in between. But here's one. This is Dwayne Haskins. It's numbered to 75 on a Crusade insert. And you guys know I am the worst about remembering all the hits. It's probably easier for you all to remember the hits because you're focusing just on the hits, but like I'm looking for numbered stuff and pattern stuff and doing chat and all the other things at once, and so I don't retain a lot of them even 5 minutes after we've opened them, or 3 minutes after we've opened them. If it wasn't a big hit, I probably don't remember it 2-3 minutes later. And also, I sometimes can't think about, like, was it numbered? Was it just a pattern? I'll just remember having, you know, seen the name or whatever, or the team, as the case might be. A little Sam Darnold, numbered to 75. And here is O'Shane. I'm going to go with Zemines. Now, that may not be how you say it, but that's what I'm going with. Of course, it is last name beginning X, which goes to the XYZ bidding spot. It's a Miles Gaskin base refractor. Peyton Manning. Jake Browning, Bees. Odell Beckham Jr. Kelvin Harmon for the H's. So that's headed for you, Nelson, the H's. With Kelvin Harmon, there's Kyler on a purple unnumbered. Little Antonio Brown to 99. Travis Fulham again for the F bidding position. And there is Anthony Johnson. Ezekiel Elliott. Ooh, Montez Sweat. Now, Montez here is a pretty good little hit. And that is bidding position S. That might be one that I think that might have been one that I had a Mojo request on. Sometimes I get messages, you know, ahead of the break that'll say, oh, let's try to find, you know, this or that or the other. And I think that might be one I got a little love for there. Montez Sweat. Paris Campbell to 49 Mojo pattern. Corey says, you got to go because FedEx delivered you some NT football. First off the line. Wow. Excellent. That is fantastic, man. I'm sure you had to pay a lot of money for that because first off the line is not cheap. Are you going to go through a whole case of Heineken while you're opening it? Corey, you better open those cards before you dig into that case of Heineken. It'd be awful if you pulled a 101 that was awesome or something, and then you're a little, you know, maybe a little on the buzzy buzz side, and you dropped it or something. Oh, no, man. Wait for the Heineken. Wait for the Heineken. Open the first off the line first, then go for the Heineken. That's all I'm saying. All right, we have got a little Christian Kirk purple parallel. Here is Jalen Hurd with the H's numbered to 99. So ever since Nelson came back, we've been doing pretty well with his H, haven't we? He brought himself good luck, I think. Peyton Manning. There's Foster Moreau for the M's. Yeah, Corey, what did a case of first off the line cost? I mean, it had to be insanely expensive. I can't even imagine who managed to get themselves a case directly from Panini. You know, you could only order one at a time, and it sold out practically instantly. That is numbered to 99, Ray Lewis for the L's. And here is Draymond Jones for the J's. Yeah, I got one box of National Treasures first off the line, and honestly, I felt tremendously lucky to have even gotten the one. Was it Tony Dorsett orange? Excuse me. Gary Jennings for the Jays. Yeah, Stang Lover, they were $500 if you got it from Panini. But what I'm saying is, you know, it would seem like Corey probably got it secondary market, right? Because they didn't sell, you couldn't order in full case quantities on Panini's website. You could only order them a box at a time, and all such as that. So I'm assuming he probably bought it secondary market somewhere, and I'm just wondering how much he had to pay for it, because I bet it was a lot. Hunter Renfrow for the R's. And that is David Montgomery to 75 that we just saw. Yeah, he says a case. Ouch. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, secondary market on it, I'm sure, is at least probably $1,200 a box, I would think, at least. And then, as I said, there's the matter of who in the world was, like, fast enough on their keyboard to actually buy it. You'd have to buy it and check out 4 separate times to get the case. So it's got to be, again, people who have got a network of people jumping in and buying them instantaneously for them. You know what I mean? Like the online guys who have big employees, you know, big staff. They could deploy to jump on there and buy this stuff in quantities one at a time. That is to 99, Troy Aikman. And then you have Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary is numbered to 25, and that is well, that's a crazy autograph in a lot of ways. For one thing, it looks just like somebody took a pen and just drew a bunch of lines. And secondly, why is it way over there on the left-hand side? You got like that whole space you could fill up, and they just kind of drew what looks like a bunch of circles with a line through it all the way over on the far left. So strange. Really strange looking autograph there. But hey, it's not the worst one we've seen. We all know that. I thought, see, I did it again. Peyton Manning, I turn it over every time. Purple isn't numbered. Got to remember that. Emmanuel Hall, that is for the H's. Kelvin Harmon for the H, numbered to 99. No, Panini definitely isn't holding them back. All that first off the line stuff is not only sold ahead of the release, obviously, it's all shipped out ahead of the release as well. They're not holding first off the line back, I guarantee you. Because, first of all, they get more for first off the line than they get selling to distributors anyway. So they would rather sell it to the public. Dax Raymond for the R's to 99. They make more money on it. So, yeah, they're definitely not holding that back. And some of my distributors honestly have people that when that stuff goes live, they'll have their employees set and try to get some too. I've got distributors that end up selling it after the fact. That is numbered to 25. It is Caden Smith. But they pay the same price that we would, you know, because you don't get any break for it. It just is the price that it is. There's another little mascot that's for the Crimson Tide, Big Al, orange parallel, also not numbered. Tyree Brady for the Bees. Oh, Nelson, you missed him. Oh, well, I thought you had come back and stayed back in between, but you wandered off again. Well, we've definitely hit some since you were here 10 minutes ago and then. But not to worry, you know, we'll do the hit recap at the end of the autographs. But you definitely have some H's, for sure you do. Gotta fish all these packs out of there. Yeah, kind of not a great box design considering it doesn't hold the packs in place. If anybody has any March Madness score updates, feel free to tell me. Ah, Stang Lover, right on cue. I look over there. He's typed in Auburn's up by 10. Thank you. Is anybody watching the other game? What's the Michigan State game look like? I'm assuming Michigan State still ahead. Probably way ahead. But Auburn putting it on them right now. Barry Sanders, All-American. It is not numbered. But here is Mecole Hardman Jr. Michigan State is up by, did I say 13 or 18? 13. LSU looks defeated. Well, you know, LSU had all that weird stuff happen and their coach having to step down and all of that kind of towards the end of the season. And it's frankly a miracle that they pulled it together to get this far anyway. So I'm not really entirely surprised. Plus, Michigan State, by the way, is really good this year. To 75, Hunter Renfrow. That should also be to 75. It's a Crusade David Montgomery. Odell Beckham Jr. to 99 for the Bees. And this is Armani Oruwari. Probably not even remotely pronounced like that. But anyway, it goes to the O's. However you say it. Then that is N'Keal Harry again with a Crusade Refractor. John Elway. Stanley Morgan for the M's. Had a lot of M's and a lot of H's and a lot of W's so far, I think. It's what it seems to me. Anyway. And there's a green Troy Aikman to 5 for the A's. So, A's, not too bad. A little green Aikman there. Johnny Dixon for the D's. Benny Snell. Benny Snell's another one from the University of Kentucky. Kind of a power back. A little bit undersized, but, I mean, he could absolutely run through a wall. Drags guys with him. He's extremely powerful. And I expect, you know, if he were a little bigger, he would probably go, as in taller, he would probably go a little earlier than it will be now, based on his height, etc. I think he's probably about around 3 or 4, maybe. It's my gut feeling on it. With Benny Snell. Nelson says, when I flip over that redemption, and it's going to be his Haskins. Oh, he says it's going to be a Haskins black, no less. I like the way you think. If you're going to go for it, let's go for it all. And when I flip it over and it's that, you're going to go play the lottery. Nelson, I like that. I think that's an outstanding plan. I played the lottery this past week. I tried to hit whichever one was big, Powerball, I think it was. I don't play them very often, but I was in the grocery store. They have a lottery machine in there, and I said, give me a couple tickets for whichever one's big. There is a Brutus Buckeye mascot that is a base prism. There's Mac Wilson to 75 for the W's. And honestly, I never even checked the ticket. I just saw that someone in an entirely different state ended up winning the whole jackpot. So I haven't even checked it to see if I won like $2 or something. I'm not sure I care. This might turn out to be a good one. It is Bryce Love for the L bidding position. Bryce might turn out to be a good little hit. There's a N'Keal Harry Mojo to 49. A Fournette Orange. Jordan Scarlett for the S. And there's DK Metcalf. He's going to be probably, he had a really good combine. He'll probably jump a few spots because of that. And that was the purple parallel. Oh, Stanglover, the lottery winner, was in Wisconsin. There's a Mojo mascot. It's for the Florida Gators. It's Albert. Albert the Alligator to 49. TJ Hawkinson will probably be the first tight end off the board. That's for the H's. TJ Hawkinson and Noah Fant are teammates, and I think TJ's kind of considered to maybe be slightly better than Noah, but they're both excellent, and they both play tight end at Iowa. So probably both will be first rounders. Zach Gentry for the G's. And there's a Will Greer orange parallel. We are 13 boxes down, 3 boxes to go. Nelson, you said you need to see one more redemption so you feel like you got a better shot at one of them being your guy. Well, we'll try. I'll try my very best for you. Stanglover says if the lottery winner takes the lump sum, that after taxes they will end up with about $250 million, which is a long way off from $750. Well, for sure. But they always say, you know, there's the 2 different ways to do it. The annuity, which would pay you out obviously in annual installments, but you would end up getting the whole $750 million, but over a course of like 20 or 30 years, whatever the annuity is. I can't remember how many years it is, one or the other, 20 or 30. But I think most financial people would probably tell you that if you took the lump sum and invested it wisely, that you would far outpace that return in the long run, I think. Josh Oliver, that is for the O's. Yeah, my brother-in-law does some, well, actually, he does like life insurance and that sort of thing, but he also messes around with some financial markets. And I've got one of my friends, her brother-in-law is a big-time financial advisor for, he works with millionaires. So Josh Rosen Purple. So anyway, that's what I hear them talking about. So Clayton Thorson for the T's. And there's a Will Greer to 49 with a little mojo parallel. Well, Staying Lever says investing it wisely. The wisely is the key word there. That's the challenge. I paraphrased a little bit, but to 49, Jared Goff, mojo parallel for the G's. And we have an autograph for Joe Jackson. Yeah, well, listen, with $250 million, my friend, you could go out and blow about $50 million of that, still invest the other $200 million, and have yourself a quite nice little lifestyle for the rest of time. It was an orange parallel Baker Mayfield that went by a minute ago. And there's Brent Ripon for the R's. Michael Irvin. Yeah, I basically just, to me, buying a lottery ticket's just like a chance to dream that you might be rich for 24 hours. That's kind of what you're paying for. Cody Thompson for the T's. Just like with breaks, it gives us a chance when we start the break, we all feel like we might hit that, $1,000 card, and then sometimes we do and sometimes we don't, but it's fun to think about it while we're doing it anyway. Of course, the difference is in breaks you usually end up with something you can do something with. Not always, but often. Whereas with the lottery, yeah, I usually end up with nothing. I don't even end up with like the $2 or $3 or the free ticket or whatever. You said you won the letter H spot in Leaf Metal Draft Jumbo. So you're talking about the break we did last night? Yeah, I don't remember what all came out last night, man. But you were on, weren't you? You were on for that, right? So I'm confused, Nelson. You got to help me out, man. You got to help put me in the right direction. I will answer your question if I can, but my mind doesn't always work in that kind of straight line like we would hope. O'Shane, I'm gonna again go with Ziminis. Probably not at all pronounced like that, but for now it is. There's a Dwayne Haskins, just a base refractor for the H. A Tom Brady purple parallel. Here is Terry McLaurin for the M's. David Montgomery, purple parallel. A Peyton Manning All-American orange parallel. Darius Slayton for the S. That's an orange Ripon again. Purple Darnold. Here's Johnny Dixon for the D's. Well, Whiteside on a purple parallel. An All-American Lamar Jackson insert. Here comes another S. This one is Drew Sample. There's a Drew Lock. I looked at that for a minute and thought it was Drew Brees. before, you know, just looking at the player. But no, let's try that again. That was a Drew Lock parallel. All right, so now, here we are at last box mojo time. Yes, yes. Let's see if we can find it. Find the big names, the big fiery hits. I'm going to try very hard to do that for you right now. All right. Let's see who we've got here in our last box tonight. Preston Williams for the W's. And a purple Rodney Anderson. An orange Russell Wilson. A second redemption, which will make Nelson happy. A Dwayne Haskins purple parallel. A John Elway purple parallel. Tony Pollard for the P's. And there's N'Keal Harry Crusade orange parallel. Carson Wentz for the W's to 99. Trayvon Mullen for the M. Well, I messed that up, didn't I? A Rashad Penny All-American. And this is LaJordan Humphrey for the H bidding spot. And that's gold, so that's got to be low numbered. Where's our number? There it is, to 10. Missed that originally on the back. LaJordan Humphrey to 10. And there's a Riley Ridley orange parallel. And that's the last of what we have to look at that's in the product live, but we do have our two redemptions that we're going to flip over here in a moment and find out who's on the other side of them. And you know the drill after we flip them. Well, I guess we really don't have to go, do we, to the Panini website on this, but we will anyway, because the team isn't going to matter on here since it's first letter of the last name, but we'll go find out if it's numbered to anything anyway. So the first one is Dwayne Haskins. That's exactly who Nelson was calling it. It is Draft Picks Prizm's red, white, and blue autographs for Dwayne Haskins and the H bidding position. And our second one is Baker Mayfield and Lincoln Riley. Nice. Oh, and it's a gold, so it's going to be to like 10 College Ties gold autographs between the M and the R. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go first find out what each of those are numbered to. Then we're going to have to deal with the Baker Mayfield Lincoln Riley, because that's, of course, two different bidding spots. And unless the same person happens to own both of those bidding spots, then we would have to come across and use random.org to help us out with that one. But first things first, let's get ourselves here to the Panini checklist. And we'll find out what the Dwayne Haskins is numbered to, if anything. So it is Draft Picks, Prizms. There's so many red, white, and blue autographs. Card number 113. Dwayne Haskins will be numbered to 99. And of course, obviously, we know that goes to the bidding position H. And the card will be to 99. Now, let's go, while we're in here, let's find out what this is going to be numbered to. I think it's going to be to 10 on this College Ties gold autographs on our other redemption. But let's find out. Oh, is that it? College, yeah. Card number 12. Where are you? Baker Mayfield and Lincoln Riley. Indeed, it is numbered to 10. So what we have to do now is figure out on Baker and Lincoln there. So we're dealing with the M's and the R's. So let's take a look. So our bidding position M is Logic Boy, and our bidding position R is Brandon Ayers. So we do have two different people involved there. So you know what that means. We got to go right back over to random.org to sort this one out. Baker is listed first on the redemption, so I'm going to type in his name first. So it'll be Mayfield first and Riley second. And because I have 9 or fewer in the list here, we're going to do random 3 different times. The first 2 do not count. It is only the third and final random that's going to make our decision. So ignore the first one. Ignore the second one. Here comes our third and final. There you'll see 3 times our date and time stamp. It goes to the M's, the Baker Mayfield. So the M's walking out of here tonight with a Baker Mayfield autograph to 10. Not too shabby, right? Oh, Nelson, I don't know which one we pulled first out of the actual boxes themselves. I don't know if Haskins was the first one we pulled out or the second one we pulled out. I didn't keep track of that part. Sorry, man. So I don't know if that was the first or second one that we pulled out. Actually, let's look at these first. So we had lots of numbered things, but most of them are kind of high numbered things. I did set aside our pair of that are very low numbered. One of them is Troy Aikman. That's to 5 for the A's. And the other one is an Aaron Rodgers to 5 for the R's. Now, our redemptions, Dwayne Haskins to the H bidding position. That's the red, white, and blue autograph parallel. It'll be numbered to 99. And then the Baker Mayfield Lincoln Riley was awarded using random.org to the M Baker Mayfield position, and it is numbered to 10. So congratulations, M. You didn't get Kyler Murray, but you know what? That Baker Mayfield, you're going to make some money on that. All right, guys, I'm not going to read necessarily all of these off again. You can see the names there as we go by. And this is just recapping each of the signatures. There's a lot of them in here. Obviously, we got a lot of hits in this break. This one, is this the one that was no, I guess it wasn't. Thought that was the one that's numbered to 10, but it wasn't. I see the one that was numbered to 10. That's this one. We will go ahead and flip it over. Because it is numbered to 10 with LaJordan Humphrey. But all in all, you know, I like it. Of course, it's what's not to like. It's Prizm. It's 2019 football. Getting first shot at some of our upcoming draft picks. What's not to love, right? So we'll be opening this again, of course, on Sunday night. For those of you who are so inclined to jump in again, Sunday night will be when we'll tackle it next. That is numbered to 15. Both of the last names were S on it, though. So, Geo is here. Hi, Geo. Yeah, you like these? They're nice. They're nice. Anything Prizm, I think, is pretty cool in the Panini line. Just like I like anything that is chrome in the Topps line. It's kind of hard not to like them, right? They're shiny. Who doesn't like shiny stuff? Shiny, new, pretty. So, you know. Yeah, Nelson. Yeah, Evander Holyfield's son. We did for sure pull him in here. We may have already passed him in the recap, but for sure we did find him in this break as well. So I think we did okay in here tonight. Stang Lover said the sweetest part was that he wasn't involved in a random tonight. I know, right? I know those randoms can be so stressful. So stressful. All right, so that's the break for tonight. If you missed it, I'll put up the spreadsheet information here one more time, and we'll take a quick glance at it. So Tuesday is when I'm thinking this will be on the way to you. If the week and the weekend go particularly well, it could go early. If something goes off the rails, it could go late. Tuesday's my best guess, though. I've got to get everything done, ready to go for the accountant this weekend because my appointment coming up, right? Yeah. So I know I've got to spend a lot of time dedicated to getting accounting stuff ready. Boo, boo taxes. Then our breaks that are coming up here in the next few days. Tomorrow night is a half case of Gypsy Queen baseball. Sunday, a 3-box case of Onyx Preferred Players autograph baseballs. The 7th and final case I have of Leaf Valiant baseball. And we'll do another case of Prizm Draft Picks all on Sunday night. Monday, the 5th and final case I have of National Treasures football and a 5th case of Inception baseball. Tuesday, a Leaf autograph football jersey and a half case of 2019 Donruss baseball that will be the start of a new case. On Wednesday, we're going to start early again. Next Wednesday, we'll start at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We'll open a full case of Court Kings basketball, which is a new release for Wednesday, and then we'll start a new case of Gypsy Queen baseball and break half of that on Wednesday night as well. So that is it for me tonight, kids. I am looking forward to getting my March Madness on, watching my Kentucky Wildcats play here in a little while against Houston. So I have something to do while I'm sorting cards. I'm going to watch the game and hope for the best. So thanks once again for being here. I appreciate you joining me tonight. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll be back at it tomorrow night. So if I don't see you then, hopefully I will see you again soon. Take care now. Bye.